Hello, welcome back to Mars. I'm Mick. We're playing Stationeers. Well, it seems like we're up to 3 weeks already since the last update because the devs have managed to just drop a new one on us. It's the You Asked For It mod. This is a heap of random stuff that's been asked for by the players. So we have had something I've wanted from the last update there. It was the flowers. They teased us with some of the promo pictures there. The flowers in the last update, the food for thought, and now they're here. This is so cool. It's not just a decorative item there. They also produce oxygen, of course. So look at it. It's huge as far as a pot plant goes. They look awesome sitting around the place. We've got the peace lily. We've got the tropical lily. Just kicking around like that. There's not a lot of just purely decorative items in this game, but to have ones like this are just sensational. Just build up your base quite nicely. They make for lovely little gardens. So when you make up your spot, look at that. Got the lilies, the peace lilies, the tropical lilies, and the ferns in the back. Now the ferns are supposed to be our major oxygen producing plant. Now we used to have the, well, we still have the regular ferns that we have there, but you used to have a big garden of them, but then they changed them with the spoiler updates that the ferns then rotted, so they weren't very good as oxygen producers then. So went and planted a heap of flowers to be oxygen producers, but now we've got some other specific ones. They will produce more oxygen than just your standard plants. So these are our now dedicated oxygen producing plants. These are the ferns. So anybody who's been out there and just planted a heap of flowers for oxygen, time to dig them up and put in some of these ferns. So it means your gardens won't have to be as big, but you'll get lots of oxygen from them there. So they are a real winner because we really didn't have a dedicated oxygen producer anymore. So that is a big win. I'm loving that one. Another thing, we've had a recipe update, mainly for our large battery. Whereas it was just gold, copper and steel, it's now been made more expensive with electrum, silicon and stellite. So whereas we got these batteries, it was cheaper to make these batteries than the smaller ones. So I think nobody ever used the smaller station batteries. So these ones were made to be more expensive. They're still worth it, I reckon. And they're not taking a lot of stellite. Electrum's easy to make. But yeah, they're more expensive now to make than just two of the smaller batteries. So yeah, so that's something we're going to have when you first start making batteries. You might not jump straight to these anymore. You might jump to the other batteries. But that's a good one, I think. The next thing we have is our shiny new tool belt. It's a Mark II tool belt. So if we open up this one here, we see we have 3 rows of tools there now, which is really cool. And the thing I really like about this one is, though we do have them all as dedicated tool slots, we also have 2 general purpose slots here. So not only can you carry all your tools there, you can carry non-tool things in there, such as your data disk and maybe a stack of pipes. We carry a stack of cables, but not a stack of pipes in here. Well, now we can. So that is super handy. We've got room. I can carry my labeler. Not that I've got it in there. There's my labeler. I don't have to put it in my underpants anymore. So we can carry a full stack of gear in there. Your tablet, your labeler, all your tools, your cable, pipe. That is awesome. I'm loving that. And also for the, obviously one for the OCD people is that the belt will now resize. Whoops, that doesn't look right. The belt will now resize depending on whether or not you are wearing your suit. That's the way it's meant to look. You put your suit on and it gets bigger. There we go, see, it fits. If you want it to emulate real life, once you take off your suit, your stomach should probably get bigger and the belt not get tighter. Or is that just life after 40? Oh well. So that one is pretty cool. That one is one I've been wanting a long time, so I'm just really glad they got that one out for us. That was super handy. A little bit more storage space never goes astray when you're trying to carry an arm full of stuff to build whatever you're building. So let's go outside and have a look at the other stuff. So next up we have a few devices. We've got our new windows. Now we have our heavy windows. Now previously our windows were breaking at 200 kilopascals. So if you wanted to suck a vacuum on some planets such as Venus, the windows would just implode. You couldn't do that. These ones are rated to a megapascal, which is, you might say, yep, that's cool. But it's not that simple, because the glass in this one is now stellite glass. It's a new type of glass they've got, which, well, requires stellite. It requires an alloy to make it. Not the easiest alloy to make. So if you're thinking of going to go and replace all of your windows with this stuff here, I hope you're good at making alloys, because that's going to be a pretty expensive process on that one there. And yeah, but they're rated to a megapascal, so if you want to put windows in your airlock or something like that, maybe not your whole base, they're a good safety way to go. They're not the best viewing windows with the reinforcing strips there and bigger frames, but yeah, whatever you like. So the other window we have is our shuttered window. These are pretty cool. So from the outside, they're just, well, basically a shutter. From the inside, give them a click and open they go. They're pretty cool, but you've got that green highlight on them whenever you look at them there, so that's a little bit not the best for viewing, but they're pretty cool. Okay, they do require power, and you can have logic hooked up to them if you like. Of course, if you have a whole stack of them there, you're going to have these power cables poking out on the ones above them there, so maybe stack the other one upside down and hide the cables in the ceiling, but you can't really go 3 high without having these there, which are going to be looking a bit ugly. But anyway, that'll be up to your design abilities as to how you feng shui it. That green highlight's a bit annoying. Might be nice if they had a button on the side to open them and close them. But that is cool. I'm loving that. I'll be putting in a few of them, most certainly. And some more plumbing its and bits here. Now a couple of these are really cool. Well, first up we have insulated pipes, insulated water pipes, finally. Now we've had our water update ages ago, and they've been giving us bits and pieces to it, but never got any insulated pipes. So now we've got them. Now all the radiators and heat exchangers and everything will work now, because we can insulate the pipes and protect all those temperatures. So the yummy coating of healthy asbestos on it is good for you as always. Now this will be something I'll be using a lot of too. That is a good one to have. So yes, you can now use water for all of your heating and cooling purposes now, and it will work. That is awesome. Another one I like is just the one-way valve. Now this one here is just, once again, a variation on this one here, so just use your scroll wheel to go to it. But for a lot of places here, I was putting in these and just permanently leaving them open just to separate my pipe networks, which was pretty silly because I usually forgot to switch them on all the time. Well, that's not the silly part, it's not the game. That's probably me. But you just use your scroll wheel and you find the one-way valve. So they will only allow gas to pass through in one direction. And only when the pressure on the input side exceeds the pressure on the output side. So if you've got a low pressure on this side, nothing's going to flow through, but of course nothing will flow back either. So good way of separating your networks and protecting your gas. If you've got a filtered gas on this side and something which is not filtered on the other side, it won't allow your gas to be polluted. So good ones to put in all over your place to just protect all your filtered systems. Alright, so next up we have our pipe heater. Once again, like the analyzer, it just fits over the top of a pipe and switch it on and it'll just heat the pipe. Now it'll use a kilowatt to run, So it's fairly power hungry, but it puts 1,000 joules per game tick into your pipe, so it will warm things up quite handy. And a pretty cool little model there. I love the way that lights up. That is nice. And we have a turbo pump. This thing is just a monster. Now it works the same as a volume pump, but as you see, this one just starts. Its default setting is 500. Now the maximum on the volume pump was 100. This one goes up to 1,000 litres, so it is 10 times the speed of the volume pumps. But once again, it's working on the same calculation as a volume pump, so in a high pressure situation, this one will just be insanely fast. But it does draw a lot of power, so yeah, just be expecting it too. And this one works in both directions. I don't think I've ever really had a need for run it in both directions, but now that I can do it, I'll probably come up with something. So that one is pretty cool. And of course, all these items are available as a liquid variants as well. So they're the bulk of what we've got here. And of course, there's always, as always, you can't have an update without some serious eye candy to get on with. And here we have our serious eye candy. Look at this thing. This is the new Autominer, obviously Mark 1. Now this one is like our vertical miner that we've had before. It's just that it goes on a flat line instead of straight down. I mean, seriously, look at this model. It's just beautiful. But this thing, so the vertical miner, well, it sort of dug down until it got to bedrock, and then you had to pull it apart and move it. This one sort of just does the same thing. It just does it along a horizontal plane. Now you can go a lot further horizontally than you did vertically, so it just means there's a lot more time before you actually have to move the thing. Push the button and away we go. Off she goes. Look at that! The lights don't work. The lights don't work. Come on, guys. You put lights on the pipe heater, and you don't make these ones work. And here we go. It does do a bit of a fly, so it stays along perfectly horizontal. And into the ground we go. Did it hit anything? Oh, I missed. Oh, I meant to line it up with that, but a great way for tunnelling an entrance into your base if you want to build an underground base. Come on, find something, find something. Back to here, we just push the button again and it should come back. Boop. So we guess it just comes back here and empties out whatever it's found there. Ooh, can I put my fingers in there? There's no sign on there to say don't put your fingers in there, so that must mean I should be able to. Beep, 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 beep. Ba-chunk. And we get nothing. Okay, so like the vertical miner, it is very hit and miss. So that is our new Autominer. So will I be using this thing? No, probably not. As I say, it's very hit and miss with its targeting, and then you've just got to pull it apart and rebuild it. So, nice toy, probably not the most practical though. However, if it had a seat on it, and I could drive it around like a rover, that would be awesome. I have a mole machine where I just go around and dig out everything, although programming that would probably be an absolute nightmare for the devs, so I imagine we might not see that, but still, that's pretty cool. Love the model. So that's our big one. Well, if you don't like mining that way, we do have an alternative. A non-health and safety approved alternative, which just makes it awesome. So there's the hole in the Autominer dug, and there's the ore I wanted to get. Not quite right. I'll have to dig it up myself. Oh no, and I don't have my drill. Whatever can I do? Well, I've become prepared. We have now mining charges. 10 seconds. Impatient? Is it ready yet? Is it 10 seconds yet? Is it done yet? I now have my ore. Well, 4 ore for a charge. That's probably not the best. Can we find a bigger patch of ore? Something like this might be good. Can I use it like a hand grenade? No. Oh. Fine. Oh. Stay. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Hey.
Health critical. Cognition critical.
Oops. Not health and safety approved. And of course we got our ore from that as well. Oh, got a lot of ore from that. So that's your new way of mining. And it's a way of mining skulls as well. That is the basics. There's a heap of other fixes and adjustments here and there, but that is the bulk of the new toys in the You Asked For It update. I know a lot of that stuff I've asked for, so I'm pretty happy with some of this stuff, and I'm going to have to go and make a few adjustments to my base in terms of plants and put in a heap of these things. Maybe adjust some of my heating and cooling to put the water pipes in there now. So a few adjustments I'll need to make for everything I'm building, but this is cool. I'm liking this one. But that's about it for today. So till next time, happy building. See ya. No, no, I'm gonna get run over. What can I ever do? Oh, that light doesn't work. Also made some changes to the trade to make the names of the traders a little more obvious as to what they actually sell. Yeah.
Health critical. Cognition critical.
Worth it.